Yeah, this dude, expert, Violent Son, yes. I definitely want to talk about him.
All right, welcome back. Secret House against album reviews, Tokyo based hip hop art and culture conversations. Me and Jet here. We got our man Scott Popular.
What it do?
Yeah, you know the vibes. Independent, underground, abstract, avant-garde, experimental, independent, underground, abstract, avant-garde, all these things. Hip hop shit.
$25.
And you know what? Today we are back to discuss the newest project from NAHreally and rapper, MC artist NAHreally and producer extraordinaire The Expert. The album is called Blip. It is 14 songs, 36 minutes. It dropped March 29th, but we've had it longer than that. They were kind enough to go ahead and toss this to us around like the 15th or something like this, right?
Yeah.
15th of March. And we were just waiting to get around to it. Time and
Whatever else.
Yeah, whatever else. In terms of these artists, this is actually my first time being following up on their music and checking them out. I imagine that NAHreally has been working in the same musical ecosystem as some of the people featured on this album, and must have been putting it down for a while. But this is the first time that I've got into him or The Expert. But I did just see this album we're playing in the background is
amazing.
Yeah, and it dropped on Cold Busted, which the homies Dallinger had an album drop on Cold Busted too. So yeah, I've met the owner operator and his wife from them when they were out here in Tokyo a couple times, and yeah, good shit. That just shows me that The Expert is a quality dope producer, just like it sounds on this fucking album. But how do y'all know NAHreally and The Expert?
First time.
Yeah, first time as well. And before we jump into NAHreally, man, The Expert sound arrangement is a perfect bagel eating music. Like, this dude, smooth as fuck.
Yeah, he got beats. He got beats. Yeah, they're dope.
This shit got you with all kinds of like fashionable, cheese spreads, capers, all kinds.
I could also imagine like a nice piece of like a blanket or a sheet on the ground at the park, you know what I mean? Kind of vibing and shit.
These kind of beats and these kind of raps is just like they're easy to let other people who are not into rap. Or if you got a lady friend or a dude friend or an animal friend. Look, I'm not complaining about it. Like,
he said animal friend. Like my dog digs this shit. My real dog.
You gotta smooth them into it.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a really good write up about the album on their Bandcamp by Nate LeBlanc, who is one of the hosts of the Dadbot Rap Pod. They're cool. I've communicated with them a couple times through Mega Late Show stuff. We're in fact trying to get. They asked me to write a letter to help them get a grant to come out here at one point, and I tried to help out with that.
Do it.
But I think right after that, COVID kind of hit. So I love those guys, and I think what they're doing is some of the best stuff in terms of hip hop conversations, and their especially their end of the year Quibble Jam is probably the best conversation about the year in music. I love that. Yeah, all shout out to all those cats. But okay, let's get right into it, man. You guys have seen on the screen right now are people that rock with us, people we rock with, people who love and respect. So check out for them in the bio. You know what I mean? And let's get into it. Who wants to get into talking about the album? General thoughts.
Jet, go.
Yeah. So it's we have this kind of circle, right, of these kind of underground MCs that have been coming along that we've talked about on this show, like whether it's like the Sleeping Dogs guys or Hemlock Ernst, some of the features on this record, and some of the older cats as well that have been doing this for a while, are 23s, and all of these kind of stem from this early 2000s, late 90s, like Anticon and sort of Rhymesayers era Galapagos type hip hop, and I think this might be like a pretty like ideal embodiment of a modernized version of the Rhymesayers formula.
Okay.
Like, this album immediately leapt to me as something that like I want to recommend to my friends who are like really into atmosphere. And that kind of Rhymesayers period, even some of the idea and abilities like MC type shit, very four elements, but also like dope white dude stuff,
Word. Word, it's not really white dude. I just assumed.
I'm not saying
not that means anything, but yeah, I was definitely in that.
This one's for my dope white dude friends.
Nah, I feel like there's a lot of time has passed, and before a lot of these artists that made music similar to that, several that you named, Rhymesayers, Strange Famous, a lot of the cats that made more conventional sounding bar style sample based hip hop. A lot back in the day, I used to have a lot of problems with their fan base because a lot of them would be like, I listen to this, I don't listen to that because and a lot of it came across as like, oh, y'all don't like what black folks talk about. You think they don't the white folks. And there used to be an issue and a conversation made. It's like when Mega ran, the homie Mega ran. We homies with Mega ran. It's like when we get a fan that come up to him and say, I don't like rap music, but I like you. I feel like a lot of time has kind of passed since that, and now we have actual hip hop fans who fuck with this heavy and also still fuck with a lot of the other stuff that they wouldn't have a decade ago. And I agree with you.
And there's a lot more fans, and there's so many different types of rap. You can't just pigeonhole it and be like, yo, this ain't black rap, it ain't rap.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but
none of us are. Yeah,
I think the sample selection and the way that certain things are flipped, the subject matters on here. This album is not trying to present itself as being something that it isn't. It comes from like a very earnest and like legitimate place. I don't know where NAHreally and The Expert are from. I don't know if you know where in the US or wherever they're from. But I feel like it's pulling from like its own history and from its own heritage.
That's the thing about the sample flips, right? Like a lot of artists like sample artists that grew up around parents like ours and shit, they're gonna flip more souls, gospel, funk samples, whereas this seems to come from another part of the record store, kind of like Andrew, kind of like a lot of the other artists that are putting that shit out. And to me, it's like really endearing because it does connect with me in a different way as a person that likes those genres as well. And when I listen to this album, what I particularly like is the combination of them. I really it's increasingly becoming important to me to listen to artists that I feel like I wouldn't mind kicking it with. And to not listen to artists that I would not kick it with. So a lot of the artists with a little bit more of the antisocial type of lyrics and shit. Even if you like, I'm reckless too. You know what I mean? And that's what I really like about this album and the way that NAHreally kind of approaches it from a songwriting standpoint. It feels like he opened up a door in his forehead and like said, "Hop in." When you listen to like. He's one of those creative writer MCs who has an idea and he writes it all the way through the track. It's not like the Bean shit where it's like all over, scatterbrain, random tangent.
It's one cohesive thought.
And he does that really well. And he does it as kind of like I want to say a philosopher, but it's probably, in today's sense, it's probably closer to a comedian because he has this kind of idiosyncratic approach to seeing something that we all think about and able to turn it into something that he expresses in a kind of whimsical and entertaining way, like a comedian.
Yes, yeah.
And just like a comedian.
Very observational comedy in that respect. Like, it's like a very kind of sharp and clever, but at the same time, very deeply relatable and likable it points out life's little foibles type of thing, right?
If you go through the list, right? The first track is about like being alive in these times and the monotony of life with the distractions, not being able to watch a TV show without looking at your screen. The second track, Smarter Than I Am, is about him trying to finish a book and it haunting him for not, you know what I mean?
Great question. Smarter Than I Am.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want that?
Yeah, well, like a lot of these things are like, if somebody was talking to me about it, I'd be like, word. And I want to combat some of the points, but I also agree with them and go through it. And so much of it is like that. Even breaking down in real time, just about getting older.
Awesome.
Well, I don't even know what beat was on. All right, you guys know. I put a little thing in the beginning of the thing. But yeah, anyways, even breaking down in real time, which is really dope about just his body breaking down, but being glad to be alive. Rapper hands is another one of those things where it's just like,
I was gonna say
who thinks of that other than rappers? I mean,
I was thinking about this the other day. I did a little performance at my friend's bar on Friday night, and
So you have rapper hands?
Oh, I have singer hands, I guess. Like the homegirl Jerry, wife of dear friend of ours, Ro. Like she apparently told him, she was like, like Jet was like doing incantations the whole performance.
Just summoning.
I'm like, I'm singing, and just with one hand, I'm kind of like composing.
Yeah.
What is it called? Tutting or whatever?
Yeah, it'd be tutting, you know.
Okay.
I got rapper hands. I mean, even when I talk on here, you guys see me, I'm always very animated and speak with my hands. Like I do like at least 70% of my communication like that. Yeah, I remember the old like typewriter like really going off hand. Yeah, I like that. But all this is saying, and so many tracks continue to address like those type of idiosyncratic, funny, different things over these really great beats. It is kind of like if it's two things, it's like kicking with a homie, comedian, philosopher type homie on like a summer day, and that's why I really fuck with it. Like the album continued to grow on me. The only thing that kept me from going back to it so often is that his flow can feel a little bit lackadaisical to me and kind of really laid back. But
I like that.
But yeah, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, it's not a critique about the quality of the music. It's just like how I use it in my day-to-day life. Like sometimes I want to, listen to angry black men. You know?
I mean, I can also, if I have a critique of this record, is that I do feel like at no point does it all completely come together firing on all cylinders. Like, I think that, on So It Goes, NAHreally rapping his ass off on that track. I think
that's one of my favorites.
The second verse on that track is probably my favorite verse of the album. I think he's going crazy on that one.
I agree with you, actually.
But the beat's not my favorite on the album. Little Wins... Probably my favorite beat on the album.
Little Wins is my favorite.
Not my favorite verse on the album. And all in all, I think it's like very solid across the board. But I guess at no point do I feel like the album gets to be more than the sum of its parts.
All right.
I think the sum of its parts is excellent. I do really, really like this record. And I do think... as far as like my friends who were into the whole Rhymesayers thing, and sort of some of the other MCs that exist in this quadrant go, they're really going to be into this, and I like this album a lot too.
I do.
Hemlock
go,
Ernst,
Scott.
on the other hand, bodies this shit, and I need a new Hemlock Ernst album like
Hemlock's
a year ago.
Yeah,
Hemlock. But
go off, Scott.
But Little Wins, everybody needs Little Wins. So
100%.
That was to me, that was the gem on the whole thing. It's like, yo, man, look at what you did.
Put it up on the fridge.
I mean, hey, everybody out there, put it up on the fridge, man.
I have no issues with the content of this album at all. I think the content on this album is great. I love how relatable it is. The album's almost kind of Buddhist in a way. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if NAHreally studies Buddhism or has any kind of Buddhist like leaning. But there's like a Shogyo Mujo to the whole album. It's very like
you got to break that down for
deal
listeners.
with like the impermanence and the physicality of the body and just it's because of the observational nature of it.
This is a Be Normal album.
It feels like an album about like none of this is permanent, but you have to like live in the moment, and it's existential. Yeah.
I do think like I really like a lot of these tracks. I like the message on a lot of them, but some of my favorite moments on the album are where he kind of gets a little bit less like talky with his rhymes. Like I like when he's going off like Pressure Points with Dylan, the way that he goes off on that joint with a little bit more urgency, a little bit more speed than the rest of the album. I kind of like, he's always really nice. He's always really dope at just rapping and laying out ideas, but I do kind of like where he puts his foot on the gas a little bit more and kind of raps with a little bit more intensity. And I think that those moments are spread out through the album pretty well, but overall it is a very kind of like laid back, summery, like the album feels like going to link up with your homie like right at noon and just building and having conversations with him. And then towards the end of towards the evening, it gets kind of a little bit more philosophical, lively, a little bit more more rhyming. Yeah. But yeah, like I would like to hang out with NAHreally. I would like to build with him. I would like to push him towards some leftist things, because some of the critiques on here are like, yeah, you're right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why don't you join? But at the same time, I'm one of those dudes that finishes those big ass stupid books, and I do it to be
many
cool.
of them definitely
I do it to be cool.
is like that many of them is very much a mega targeted track where it's like, Oh yeah, Mega has a lot of opinions on a lot of things. I guess the difference between you and the more pointed critique of the album is that generally you've read a book about whatever your opinion is in that situation, or at least claim to.
What about why don't you look at how great you got at making excuses?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how many people I know like that?
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that to a lot of people.
He says, and who says
excuses.
you have to be good? Sometimes it can be kind of misunderstood. And perhaps sometimes it can be kind of good to be misunderstood. Perhaps you'll get better as you do it. Look how good you got at making excuses. Yeah, it's hard. And the guitar and the vocal sample on that and the beat switch. And I feel like the chorus and refrain on that shit are like something recognizable to me too, but I'm not.
But see, if he would have pushed the gas, I don't think that message would have hit that hard.
Sure, yeah. It's just there are just a few moments on the album that I'm like, hell yeah. Like, what is the one that's like a b-boy track? The fucking bubble rap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like easily entertained bubble rap shit, but the beat is kind of like on some up tempo b-boy shit. I don't have any issues with it being a summery jammy type of vibe. I just kind of noticed that some of my favorite rapper moments, not message moments necessarily, are the ones where he gets a little bit more on your ass. But no, like the features on this are great too. Dylan is dope. Hemlock is dope. Open Mike Eagle, always great. And the way he comes in and breaks it down in his way, it's like, you know, he's like, there are also highlights. My baby boy is almost my height. Just really good creative writing on this album that I think that if you're a regular human being and you're not trying to front or be, you know, larger than life or whatever, many of these ideas should fucking connect with you.
These are human real life experiences.
Yeah, very
without the
existential.
G6 and all the strip clubs and all that other shit.
Yeah. And that's what I find most endearing about it. Like, again, I just got to listen to people that like.
You can hang out with this dude.
Bro.
You know that he's, I hope that he's human.
Yeah. Oh, he might not. Yeah, you never know. These rappers, bro. But no, like there's just, you know, every single one of these tracks you could probably take and think about and have like a good conversation about the topics. Read the Room is another one that I really love. The beat is lovely. The premise, it's all perfect. You know, and the thing about The Room is the room grew, and the room now includes the whole world due to the interconnected nature of internet communication. About how like it's dope to just like there's people that over police language, but when the main people complaining are the transphobic or the racist, it's just like, don't be cruel, and we don't have to accommodate those views. But at the same time, I'm not trying to beat anybody's head about how they should think. It's just like, read the fucking room. The problem is the room is big as fuck, and that's like, we really could have a long conversation about those things and about that, and he manages to condense it into a couple minutes and make it something that it almost gives you like these little philosophical mantras, like a bumper sticker to apply that to a situation in your day-to-day life, where it's like somebody says something and it's just like, well, like, read the room. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't have to be fucking cruel. Like, yeah. And I like it. This album
I also really like NAHreally's ability to slip quite effortlessly between first-person storyteller and like omniscient, observant sort of narrator, kind of fly on the wall type figure. You really see that on Smarter Than I Am, where like you kind of jump back and forth between like the larger question of what it means to be more intelligent than you are, and if that's something that you're actually trying to actively seek out or not.
Or just be a dick.
Or just like some guy that gets recommended a lot of TV shows but likes sports and doesn't want to feel like
being embarrassed about watching Pelicans, which you should. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even watch sports ball like that. I watch MMA and boxing is it. But no, like that's a really good one too. Like, what does he say? He says, it's weird we associate the entertainment that people gravitate towards with how big their brain is. Where's the line between seeking understanding and performing and exercising personal branding? There's a lot of people that like, I watch some really smart shit. Like, I watch documentaries, or, you know, just
that don't mean you can dunk.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Stephen A. Smith, I guess. You know, like, I get that. I really do get that. You know, those are the pretentious people. I try not to be that, but you know, I'm also the book guy. So.
The album is very unpretentious.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's critiquing the pretentious people and shit. But yeah, I think sometimes he points a little finger in the chest and is like, calm down a little bit, B. Like, you know, it's happening nonstop.
I can see it in Smarter Than I Am. I can see it there clearly.
It's good. I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say about it other than that I thoroughly enjoyed the project.
Let's talk about the album cover. This is my album cover of the week.
Okay, yeah, it's a good cover.
I gotta pull it up again.
It's like the marathon runners with the stickers over the face.
With the stickers over their face.
Post-it notes.
Okay. That's
that is hard. Yeah, that's hard.
Like, I don't know if these singles have their own little things like Sword did, but I was really enjoying this album because this is my goal album cover of the week. Good job.
Yeah, this is I
think visuals are important to go with. Yeah. Like, now in this day and age, I need your visuals as well.
Sure.
Maybe you don't need a video, but if you're gonna put out any kind of sonic project, I gotta scroll through something, right? And if your art don't look good, sometimes I will just skip over that shit.
Yeah. In the same way, like, if it looks really good, you're like, let me just see what's going on.
Yeah.
What
if George Bush was cool?
What if George Bush was cool?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but yeah, you know, again, this is my first time being introduced to both of their musics. The production on this is fire. The
Expert is Violent Sun.
Yeah. The production is fire. The rapping, the artistry, just the humanity is great. I was really surprised, and I want to thank NAHreally and The Expert for giving us the opportunity to check it out. A lot of times we get music recommended to it. We get it all the time. We get it from big artists, from small artists, from all types of artists, and it's always a pleasant surprise when somebody tosses us something that's really special, and we feel involved in the process. So thank you guys for that.
Yup.
Sorry about for the fucking mishap in the beginning of the video, but you know.
Break it down in real time.
Yeah. Favorite songs. Let's do that.
Yeah. Scott, why don't you kick us off?
Little Wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is definitely, like, I was like, yo, I need this right now, and I know a whole bunch of people need this. Like, this is so important. Like, just to take it back to the kid essence of things. It's like you don't even question what the hell it is. Just put it up there. You did it. Yeah. It's up there. You get a motivational point. Go about your day. Yeah. Don't be a dick. And that's that's
so many people think that their art has to be like commodified, and all of their hobbies have to be something that are of the quality to make money off of. And it's good to just realize you're allowed to do whatever
for the sake of humans, man. You need that boost.
Yeah.
On a daily basis for just the most mundanest of mundanest shit.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. So thank you for making that track.
My favorites are So It Goes, Push Pressure Points, and Read the Room. Read the Room is probably my favorite beat on the album, but I could give you guys 6 songs on this album that are in contention for my favorite 3. At least 6 or 7. I really like it.
Breaking Down in Real Time, Smarter Than I Am, Movement and Light, and So It Goes.
Movement and Light's great.
Hemlock Ernst is so wonderful, and I don't want to take away from NAHreally because his verse is great too. But like, I'm a committed Hemlock Ernst fan, and I need a new record.
Future Island shit. Yeah. Secret House
I think we all like Breaking Down in Real Time, but maybe we don't want to admit it because we all breaking down in real time.
Oh yeah, bro, my teeth is.
It was my birthday the other day.
Yeah. Me and Scott Popular. We're
yeah.
I'm old as shit right now. My back hurts right now.
Yeah, ain't nowhere in hell. I'm like, the minute I heard this song, I was looking at some of the old files, and I was doing backflips on a trampoline, and I was like, nah, I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah. I'm 63 years old in b-boy years. Like, my fucking feet hurt. My feet are still hurting from that walk 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago. Yeah. But yeah, man, Secret House again. Shout out to everybody that supports us. Shout out to y'all. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Think about the Discord. Think about the Patreon. Think about coming here to Tokyo and say what's up.
Do all of that.
Or don't. I'm not your dad.